He grew up so poor, his family sometimes couldn't afford food. There was a Thanksgiving when a stranger knocked on their door and handed them a bag of groceries. Tony Robbins was 11 years old. He never forgot it. He promised himself that one day he would be the one at the door. At 17, he left home. No money, no plan. He cleaned bathrooms and lived in a 400-square-foot apartment, washing his dishes in the bathtub because his unit had no kitchen. Then, at 18, he attended a seminar by Jim Rohn, the same philosopher whose ideas had transformed millions. Everything clicked. Robbins didn't just absorb Rohn's teachings, he went further. He devoured neuro-linguistic programming. He trained with John Grinder, one of its co-creators. He studied hypnosis, cognitive behavioral therapy, and peak performance science from every corner of the world. Then he started teaching what he'd learned. By 21, he was running seminars. By 24, he'd worked with over 1 million people. And he built a system, not from theory, but from obsessive study of what actually changes human behavior. Here's the core of it. Your life is not controlled by what happens to you. It's controlled by the state you're in when it happens. Most people try to change their circumstances to feel better. Robbins figured out it works the other way. Change your physiology, your breathing, your posture, your movement, and your emotional state changes immediately. This is not wishful thinking, it's neuroscience. He calls them peak states. When you're in fear, your body is contracted, shoulders forward, chest tight, breathing shallow. When you're in confidence, your body is open, spine tall, breathing deep. Forcing the confident posture actually changes the neurochemistry. Cortisol drops, testosterone rises. Researchers have confirmed this. Robbins was teaching it decades before they caught up. He's been testing and refining this on human beings for 40 years. The second insight is about questions. The quality of your life, he says, is the quality of the questions you habitually ask yourself. Most people ask, why does this always happen to me? Why can't I ever catch a break? Those questions have answers. The brain will find them, and they will be terrible ones. Robbins trains people to replace those questions with better ones. What can I learn from this? What's great about this situation, even if I have to look hard? How can I use this to grow? Same event, different question, completely different life trajectory. The third piece is what he calls the 6 human needs. Every person has 6 fundamental drives: certainty, variety, significance, connection, growth, and contribution. We all have them, but the top 2, the ones that dominate your decisions, differ from person to person. Here's why it matters. Understanding which 2 needs drive you explains almost every pattern in your life. Why you stay in bad relationships, why you self-sabotage, why you procrastinate. The behavior that hurts you is meeting a need somewhere. You just haven't identified which one. Robbins spent years reverse engineering this. His results are hard to argue with. He has worked with presidents, world champions, and billionaires, and with everyday people who simply refuse to stay stuck. He's held fire walks, participants walking across 12 feet of burning coals, not as a stunt, but as a demonstration that the limits you believe in are not the real ones. He's held events for 10,000 people, and you can watch the rooms transform. Not through hype, through precise, tested, repeatable methods. There's a story he tells often about a man who came to one of his events suicidal. By the end of the weekend, the man had a plan, a purpose, and a future. Robbins says what changed wasn't the circumstances. What changed was the meaning the man assigned to his pain. Viktor Frankl understood this. Epictetus knew it. Marcus Aurelius wrote it down. Tony Robbins built a delivery system for it at scale. The boy who grew up hungry became the man at the door for millions of people worldwide. And his message, distilled to its absolute core: the only thing keeping you from what you want is the story you tell yourself about why you can't have it. Change the story, change the state, change the questions you ask. That's not philosophy, that's a method. It's waiting for you to use it.